In the beginning of days, when the world was still young, the earth was a place of breathtaking beauty. Green valleys stretched beneath golden light, rivers wound through ancient forests, and the mountains rose like silent sentinels against the heavens. But the hearts of men had grown dark. In the cities and the settlements, wickedness flourished. Greed, cruelty, and violence spread like a plague across the land. Neighbor turned against neighbor. The cries of the innocent rose like smoke into the sky. And the Lord looked down upon the earth, and his heart was filled with sorrow. He saw that every thought and inclination of the human heart was bent only toward evil. And so, with a grief as deep as creation itself, God resolved to cleanse the earth with a great and terrible flood. But among all the people of the earth, there was one man who walked faithfully with God. His name was Noah, a humble, righteous man, weathered by age, yet steadfast in spirit. And the Lord spoke to Noah and commanded him, "Build an ark, for I will bring floodwaters upon the earth." And so Noah set to work. With calloused hands and unwavering faith, he began to build, beam by beam, plank by plank, a vessel unlike anything the world had ever seen. His sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, labored alongside him beneath the open sky. The townsfolk gathered to watch, and their laughter echoed across the dry and dusty plains. "A boat?" they mocked. "On dry land? The old man has lost his mind." They pointed and jeered, shaking their heads at the folly they believed they were witnessing. But Noah did not waver. He did not argue. He did not seek to prove himself right. He simply obeyed. Day after day, month after month, year after year, he built, trusting not in what his eyes could see, but in the word of the God who had spoken to him. And the Lord gave Noah careful instructions. "Take with you 2 of every living creature, male and female. Gather provisions of every kind of food for you and for them." Noah listened, and he did everything exactly as God commanded. Then came a sight no human eye had ever beheld. From the forests and the fields, from the mountains and the marshes, the animals came, 2 by 2, in a great and miraculous procession. Lions walked beside lambs, eagles descended from the clouds, creatures of every kind made their way to the ark, as though drawn by an unseen hand. Noah and his family, 8 souls in all, stepped aboard the ark. They carried with them the weight of an entire world's future, and when the last creature had entered, God himself shut the door. The sound of it echoed across the silent land like a final word. Then the heavens darkened. A wind stirred, cold and restless. The first drops of rain fell softly, almost gently, as though the sky itself were weeping. But within moments, the drizzle became a downpour, and the downpour became a deluge. The fountains of the deep burst open, and the windows of heaven were thrown wide. The waters rose with terrifying swiftness, swallowing the valleys, the villages, the hills. Higher and higher the flood climbed, until even the tallest mountains vanished beneath the waves. The world that had been was no more. And there, upon the vast and endless waters, the ark drifted alone, a single vessel of wood and faith, tossed and battered by the storm, yet held steady by the hand of the Almighty. Inside, Noah and his family waited in the darkness, and they trusted. For 40 days and 40 nights, the rain fell without ceasing. And then, silence. The storm passed, and the world lay beneath a vast, unbroken sea. There was no birdsong, no rustling of leaves, no voices carried on the wind. Only water, stretching in every direction to the edge of the horizon.
Noah opened a window of the ark
And sent out a raven, which flew back and forth over the waters, but found no place to rest. Then he sent out a dove. The dove returned to him, for the waters still covered the face of the earth. And Noah waited.
7 days later,
He sent the dove out once more, and this time she returned with a freshly plucked olive branch in her beak. Noah's heart leapt. It was a sign, a whisper of green life in a drowned world, a promise that the earth was healing.
slowly, mercifully,
The waters began to recede. The peaks of the mountains of Ararat emerged from the deep like the earth being born anew. And the ark came to rest upon that high ground, steady and still at last, after its long and faithful voyage.
Noah opened the door of the ark,
And the light of a new world poured in. One by one, the animals emerged, bounding, crawling, soaring into the open air. Noah and his family stepped onto the dry ground, breathing in the scent of earth and renewal. And the first thing Noah did was build an altar and give thanks to the Lord. Then God set a rainbow in the sky, a great arc of color stretching from horizon to horizon, shimmering against the clouds. And he spoke a covenant that would echo through all of time. Never again will I destroy the earth with a flood. This rainbow shall be the sign of my promise to you and to every living creature for all generations to come.
and so it was.
A story of faith, of obedience, and of God's enduring, unbreakable promise. A reminder that even in the darkest of storms, those who trust in the Lord shall find deliverance.